You have somehow, you're one of the people who Dr. Dre has always just had an insane amount of love for since you've gotten into his, circle, I would say, right? I feel like Dre's always had your back. Behind the scenes, I've heard that he's always had your back. He may or may not have had your back on this album. I don't know. What do you remember, like, kind of like when you and Dre like kind of hit like a real momentum, like, oh, like this is not a music relationship. This is not a label head relationship. This is like a brotherhood type shit,
Yeah, I think over the time that we spent making those records and then being able to see, that my outside studio activities were just as strong as my inside studio activities. Meaning that, I'm trying to get the job done. I'm not here for the bullshit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you are about your business. I want to
be an asset.
Yeah.
I want to be an asset.
Not a liability.
Correct. And so that's always been my drive. I've, sometimes I fail. You know what I'm saying? As we all, not everybody's perfect. But, I most 99% of the time I hit the mark, right? And so now being able to, go forward and, like families be involved and people know, our personal lives, are discussed, we built it over time. And, I think that, when people get around certain individuals and I think people's intentions and, what they override the desire to be a good person, right? I think he experiences that more than anybody, but he's definitely in control of his circle of people that he decides to associate with. I'm just, I'm blessed enough to be able to, have those conversations with him and talk about things other than music. And, I get I get a lot of wisdom and a lot of, like good direction, saying, because he's seen it all. So he's built, empires. And he's seen them crumble, and built them again. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of good shit you can learn, in discussions with him. And I'm glad I had that relationship with him.
When you guys were in those 2001 sessions, did you guys have it's still Dre, right?
Yeah.
Suge Knight tried to drop like the Hater Chronic 2000 at the time. Remember that? With the fake Snoop?
Yeah. That's why he named it 2001
because it did not come out in 2001. Did y'all because that out? I do make the argument a lot. I think 2001 aged better than the first Chronic. Like, to me, 2001 sounds like it could have came out today.
No way.
Personally, for me.
Okay, so if you go listen to, so look, both records are phenomenal, but if you don't get the first Chronic, you don't get the second one.
Of course.
So the first Chronic, the dynamics to those mixes are phenomenal, because if you listen to that record, I remember how it shifted everything.
I mean, yeah, the tree that just comes from just that album, is forever like unfuckwittable.
Oh, come on, man! It's things on there that kind of set the standard for like the next 10, 20 years of music. For sure.
You know look, fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, Doggy Style is the greatest, if not the greatest album ever. It's the great. I mean, it's one or two for me personally.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
And that obviously is a direct cause and effect from the Chronic.
Yes.
But what have you been able to sit with Missionary?
I have.
I feel like I listened to it the first go round, right? And I was like, okay, this is first of all. You've already been hearing it.
Look, I was in there.
I was in the studio.
I was in there with him listening to it. And listen, I'm biased already.
I love the album.
I'm biased. I love everything my team do. You know what I'm saying? But I think people, gotta know that Snoop is a global brand. He is making music. He feels good right now. He just got done doing the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Like this
And
music
yo,
is a direct representation of how good and how much fun he's having.
And he is also rapping his ass off.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I heard it through the big speaker.
Like that Shangri-La shit.
Full crank. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. The production is immaculate. Snoop is at an all-time high on his game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's an album that like I'm on my fourth listen at this point, and I'm like, yo, this shit is amazing.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
It catch you off guard a little the first listen.
Yeah.
And the second was like, damn.
Yeah, you going in with expectation. Don't go in expecting to hear Doggy Style.
Right.
Because, that was then, this is now.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I think they pulled it off. And that fucking Tom Petty Jelly Roll record should be like number one in the world. That song is a fucking smash.
Yeah.
Nah, incredible body work.
Yeah.